You're welcome back. This is the Pulse here on Joy News. Now, let's talk about something that has become a perennial matter, but yet we appear to be running away from finding a major solution to deal with this. And we are back at this time of the year again because farmers along the Barge Dam are racing against time to harvest their crops as water level on the White Volta rise. Now, Sonabel, the Burkina Bay Power Company, has scheduled the spillage for August 27, that's Wednesday, but brought it forward to today after the dam hit 90.24% capacity. Communities along the White Volta have been asked to take precaution, but the sudden notice has sparked fear of widespread crop distress. In Joy News' Upper East correspondent Beso reports that farmers are frantically harvesting before their fields are submerged.
Yes, the other day we passed here and crossed this our farmland without even any water here. But as yesterday when we came, it started coming to a knee level, ankle level. But today we are almost at a waist level, crossing to the farmlands. So we believe that the water is already in. After rainwater alone, normally it doesn't come long. When it comes more, then it goes down again. But this one is just
going to open the water later today. So this could just become rain.
Okay, but though the rainwater were actually coming, but I think that because their water is also on the way, it's also compounding the issues, and the water level is rising to the farmlands. But we are going to do everything possible to make sure that any other thing that we have here, we can get it. Because by next week onwards, we believe that the whole of this place will be totally flooded, and that we can't even have access to this place. Where we stand will all be flooded.
Tell me, every year your farms keep getting washed away. So why do you keep coming back to farm here?
The problem is around this area, it's very the soil is very fertile. We don't even apply fertilizer. As you can see, they are doing well. But the dry lands, we need fertilizer, and the cost of fertilizer is not easy. So sometimes when we do that, then we are lucky and the water is not able to come. We harvest, bumper harvest. So for that reason, a lot of farmers still love to farm around the boundaries because of the soil nature.
So were you able to get some sort of harvest before this month?
Like some got, but majority didn't because of the rains didn't start early. So the planting season started late. So this were now the time that a lot of them would arrive. And because of the water also, we'll lose it also.
And in fact, every year round, the Barge Dam gives us a lot of problems. Because if the government could come to our aid to build as the multi-purpose dam, as they were saying, I think it will help a lot. Because from here all, even to the northern region, the Barge Dam will flood everything. And in fact, to farm around the river because it's so fertile. Without fertilizer, you still harvest. Even if you farm, you may farm, but you can't get money to buy fertilizer and apply. So it's difficult for farmers to be able to farm uplands because the uplands will not give them anything. But as they have shown like this, one is okay, they can harvest that one, but the rest that is not mature means the water will come and take them off. And the water coming is not only the food stuff that it comes to take away from. It takes our animals, it takes human lives and all that along. So we are pleading to the government to build a multi-purpose dam for us so that it will enhance farmers and everybody.
In terms of any sort of help they are going to give if your farms are submerged?
3 days back, I was in the house when TV3 called on me and I met them. And actually we went around advising people to harvest because the water, the Barge Dam will be opening around 27.
You went around with NADMO?
No, we went around alone first, but NADMO also came yesterday to go around and see how. But earlier on, I've already gone around advising people to harvest their maize and whatever they have along the river banks, that the water may come on 27th onwards. So I did advise farmers But every year round, if the rains had rained earlier, people will have harvested the maize, everything off. But at times it will rain once and it will not rain again. And if it rains once too and you come and show it, it means there won't be germination.
Right, so let me bring in Albert Sorry from the Upper East region. Also joining me is my colleague Martina Bugri from the Northern region. Remember, at the peak of this, you are likely to see the water drip all the way from Burkina Faso, even to parts of the Bono and then the Bono East region. So Albert, first, let me just find, I've seen the videos that you've shared with us, quite devastating. And I wonder whether the farmers are ready to move to higher grounds. Because of their livelihoods, are they ready to do so?
For their settlements are not in the water basin. What they have in the area where the water from the lake usually.
I think that there's some connection issues to Albert. Albert, we can't hear you. Let's see if we can rectify that so we can have a better connection to you. But Martina Bugri is also on the line. So Martina, you are in the northern region. Is the region starting to feel the impact of the spillage?
Felt yet, but farmers and people living along the white water are beginning to move, and especially those who are very close, like communities like the Nawini areas. They have started packing their things. They were actually looking at 27. But as it stands now, they have to hurriedly move because they are told that they are opening the dam today. I spoke to some of the community members, and what they are telling us is that it's difficult to say now, for instance, they gave them a piece of land in Dallo, move and resettle there, but the place is empty. People are farming there. Nobody has been able to move because they are unable to construct themselves. And so they are locked up at the bank like that. And each year they open the dam, it floods their homes, floods their farms, and they eventually lose everything and restart again. But they are unwilling to move from these communities up to safer grounds. And one other thing is that those who didn't plant early are likely not to harvest anything because some are still tasseling, some are, even though they are grown, but they are not fully matured. But those who were able to plant early are harvesting already, and they are actually raising against time because they do not know when the water would arrive in that area. I spoke to the Northern Regional Director of NADMO on what they are planning to do ahead. He says that they are undertaking some sensitization in communities along the white and black water. He says that they've also started monitoring in case there would be a need for an emergency evacuation. He says they've also identified some places where if these floods come, they'll be able to rescue people and settle them. And one other thing is that he says they are going to work with the military team. He says they are also mobilizing resources, even though he's unable to tell us exactly what they are mobilizing. Now, he says until they are able to gather, they will not be able to disclose what they have.
But Martina, before you go, these measures that they are telling you, are these measures not too late in the day? They want to undertake sensitization when the spillage has already taken place?
So they started the sensitization when the rain started. Remember that it's an annual thing. Almost every year we experience these floods. So I'm told that they started earlier this year, speaking to the communities that there could be a possible spillage this year. So they should begin. Initially, they were told not to actually even go to their farms and farm. They should look elsewhere and farm. But with Calcitran, people would always go. Which they say is not their fault, though, because they do not have places to go and farm. So they're hoping that they'll be able to harvest before the rains come. So what we're being told is that they did the sensitization, but just a reminder that, look, the time has come, you need to leave.
Right. Albert, so, the connection is better now. And we are told that some want to undertake what they describe as premature harvesting because they can't stand to lose their investment.
Yes, Elton. So as I was saying, they have their farms in the basin of the lake where every year they farm. Now, you would hear one of the farmers saying that the lands there are very fertile. And assuming they even want to leave these lands and go upland, then they will need fertilizer. They may even need more water to be able to cultivate, on the lands that are uphill. And some don't even have lands there. So what they have around the lake is almost the only choice that they have.
Right.
So normally they would start cultivation very early in the hope that they can harvest before the floods come. Some are able to succeed, others are not able to because the rains are not consistent. And so this morning, the people that I met at the White Volta Lake were trying to harvest their corn. In fact, they even removed the cob to show me how unripe the corn was. It's not produce they can use for anything. The only thing they can do is to roast it and eat it as soon as possible. They cannot store it and use it for any other purpose. They can't even get the seed they will need next year to plant, from this produce that they are collecting at the moment. And so that is the situation. They are saying that, the rise of the water level in the lake is moving so fast that if they don't harvest what they have close to the lake as soon as possible, they are going to lose everything if the rise in the water continues as it is going at the moment.
I remember last 2 or 3 years ago, we recorded deaths from the spillage. And is NADMO, the Regional Coordinating Council, doing anything to protect human lives?
Normally, they do education. So you would find that some people, like these people who are collecting their, trying to harvest what they have as soon as possible, they may be able to get something. But others, would have a situation where their farms get submerged and they have to use canoes to still try and harvest some of the produce. It is some of these people who end up falling into the water and sometimes drowning in the process. And that's why in the previous years, we lost some lives. And so what NADMO continues to do is to liaise with the assemblymen and opinion leaders to talk to the people to, if they are able to collect some of the produce before the farms get flooded, that is good enough. Otherwise, when the place gets flooded, nobody should attempt to go there to try and salvage any of their crops. And from what the people in Pualugu were telling me this morning, they started this education over the weekend, and some had already started harvesting on Saturday when the water level had not risen to where it is today. So the expectation is that if the education has gone down well, people do not go back there when the place is too flooded with canoes or even trying to get into the water when it's too deep to harvest their crops.
All right, Albert, thank you so much. Also, thanks very much to you, Martina Bugri. But let me bring in the Northern Regional NADMO Director of Operations, Sakibu Buhari. Mr. Buhari, I mean, is there any indication how long this spillage will last?
Thank you so much. Let me say good evening to you. Good evening to your journalist viewers. To begin with, let me leave you with this proverb. There is a saying that don't get me is better than leave me to go. And again, you don't close your doors after the rain has stopped. So in view of this, NADMO is prepared in the region. We have activated all the existing committees within the NADMO in the Northern region, which include the Regional Disaster Management Committee and the District Disaster Management Committee to be on alert. And again, all NADMO zonal directors and district volunteers, we have district volunteer groups, are already in the communities, giving them education. As you can see, some of the community alongside or are likely to be affected have already packed their things on to the high hill of the land. Yeah.
Right.
And the regional director of the NADMO has directed all the likely affected districts. There are likely affected districts in the region, which includes Savlugu district is likely to be affected. Umbungu district, Tualang, Karga, Saboba, Sabzu, Gushagu, and Tetali in the northern region. We have.
So these are high risk areas.
Come again?
These are high risk areas.
Yes. So, there are communities within those districts which are likely to be affected. For instance, Dalong in the Kumon, Wunde in the Kumon district is one example. NADMO, we have set up a response team in collaborating with about 51 engineer team of the Ghana Armed Forces to be on alert to respond to any emergency evacuations. These are the things that, the NADMO in the northern regions, we carry out assessment on the number of people are likely to be affected. Estimated to be around 95,823 in the 8 districts that I've mentioned about. So,
Mr. Buhari, so this 98,000, over 98,000 you estimate will be affected. How will they be affected? Are they going to lose their homes, their farms, their livelihoods?
They are likely to lose their farms, their homes, and their livelihoods. So, and that is why, like I said earlier, our minds are already on the ground, give them education. So, as I speak to you now, they have all moved, and then some have started harvesting their crops. So, inshallah, with this year, education has gone down well, and I'm sure we are likely to record it to affected.
So when you say they have moved to where? To go and live with families in areas that will not be affected, or NADMO has created a temporary camp for them?
No place. They have moved to, there are some communities who are not likely to be affected. So they've moved to those communities, and the lands that are not likely to get to the water. So we have given them a lot of education with regard to this dam spillage. But let me argue that this community are advised to be very careful when entering flat water, as it may be carried along, such as with dangerous reptiles such as snakes. So we have told them that they should not get to the water, because as the water is coming, they are coming alongside with the dangerous reptiles. Example, snakes is one of them. So we have given them those educations. So after this year, NADMO is well prepared, and our messages have gone down well to the likely affected communities. Yeah.
And so, Mr. Buhari, what has been the response? Are the people playing along? Are they the 98,000? Have they moved already, or they are now harvesting before they move? Because already the spillage has been undertaken. The water is coming down gradually. We've seen videos of even farms that are already almost submerged under flood waters. And so, have they moved, or they are waiting to see evidence of the water in their community before they will move?
If you can remember, before I begin with this, I told you that don't get to me. It's better than leave me to go.
Right.
You understand me?
I do.
So they have moved. They have moved already.
Okay.
They have moved already. About 95,823 people along those communities have packed their things and moved.
Okay. So
they have seen what happened to them last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what I say this year, education have gone down well.
Okay. So beyond the education and the place that they have moved, I asked earlier on about the support that NADMO is giving them and whether you have maybe a camp. For those who may not have family members they may stay with, is there a camp that you've created and what other support you are giving them beyond them? Because some of them are almost likely are going to lose their livelihood for good. And then once that they are in shelters for the temporal time that they would be, what is the support for them from NADMO, or better still, from the Regional Coordinating Council?
Yes, as I speak to you now, this morning we're expecting the team from Accra to come to the northern region so that we all move there together. And like you said, you can't just, some of them may not have family close to the affected area. So as the team come from Accra, when we get it, I think we'll be able to see how best we can also put our hands to support them.
And for those who prefer to stay, despite the advice and education given them, they definitely will be on their own. Is that not it?
Oh, it will be in their own. Because they've seen last year what happened, or last 3 years what happened to them. So, no, I'm not sure none of them will refuse to move. Because if you refuse to move, anything that happened to you will be your own consequence. Yes.
All right. Well, let's leave it here for now. Thank you so much. Sakib Buhari is the Northern Regional NADMO Director of Operation, and as we heard him say, they've estimated that over 98,000 individuals will be affected by the spillage of the Barge Dam, and they've asked them to move to communities that will not be affected, and some have already moved. Some want to do harvesting of their produce before they do so. We are keeping an eye on this matter because the spillage started this morning already. Some farms have already been submerged. We'll take a short break here on the program. When we return, we're going to talk about the ongoing 2025 West African Senior Secondary Certificate Examination. Already, some invigilators have found themselves on the wrong side of the law. When we return, the PRO of WAEC will be my guest on the program. Stay put.